Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode two, the virtual version of our Dorm Mate show here with special guest Villanova updates. I'm Nathan Mather here alongside Nicholas Calandrino. So, first, just want you to talk about how you became one of the premier sources for Villanova basketball recruiting.
I wasn't actually the original owner of the page. Dude Tyler Bannerman was the original owner, and I saw the page. I was a longtime follower, and I saw the page was like kind of abandoned for a little bit. So I reached out to him. I was like, "Is there any way I can take over this page? Like, I hate seeing like there was no really news page on Instagram." So I was like, "You mind if I just take this page over and do? I think this is going to be my third season doing it. So yeah, I love it."
Sweet. I want to jump right into recruiting. So, there are four names really that Nick and I have been seeing: Luca Foster, Adam Umadush, Favor eBay, and Alex Egbuonu. I believe that's how you pronounce that.
hmm
What are the chances you're seeing on those four being Villanova commits?
Honestly, for Luca Foster, I've been pretty quiet. Haven't really heard much about him. I know he has like a top nine. He's been taking visits a lot. So for him, I mean, he was a local kid, but he transferred to Link Academy, I want to say, or some. He was at Archbishop Carroll, but yeah, for him, not really too sure on him. For the others, Adam Omidush. I know he visited Illinois over the weekend. He's going to St. John's this weekend, and then we'll probably get an update on him. I know he liked his visit. That's really all I know about him. He's going to cost a lot. Going to overtime elite, those guys don't come cheap. And then for the other two, with Favor eBay, I really haven't heard anything on him either. I know he visited. Think he liked it. Other than that, pretty quiet there. And then Alex Egbonu. He really enjoyed his visit here. He's visiting Auburn next weekend and then should have a decision after. So out of all of them, I'd probably say eBay and Egbuonu we have the best chances with, but yeah, we'll see.
I want to move to some of the guys we just lost out on. Chase Foster, number 33 in the country. Chris Washington Jr., he committed to Alabama. Foster went to Pitt. What happened with those guys? Why were they not Wildcats?
For Washington, I mean, I always thought it was kind of unlikely we'd land him just because of the two SEC schools like Bama and I want to say Auburn. I could be wrong on that, but um, he visited Alabama and they just kind of locked him down. So I don't really think we had a pretty good chance to land him there. But for Chase Foster, I know he got a big check from Pitt and he's a PA kid, so no surprise going to Pitt. But yeah, would have been nice to get those guys for sure.
Yeah. Who do you really want to see and who do you think's realistic to be on this team next year, whether it's portal or recruiting?
I mean, yeah, for the portal, it's kind of far out to really have any expectations there. That's really something closer to the spring, we'll get a better sense of. But recruiting for like high school, I mean, I would love Luca Foster. I mean, he's a dog and a local kid. He can stay in the backyard, and I feel like past couple of years it's kind of been a challenge keeping these guys in PA. Rob Wright, the PA guy, Philly kid, Jaleel Bisaya, who went to I think he's at Alabama now, went to Miami. So I'd really love to have Luca Foster. He'd be my number one guy, but yeah.
Yeah, like what do you think like a dream 2026 freshman recruiting class looks for Willard?
Um, that's a good question because the team right now is so young and Willard really preaches retainment. So it might be kind of tough with the team so young that to really build a lot of young guys for the freshman and sophomore next year. But I think eBay 7-1. I mean, we already have Nico and Pierce as both freshmen right now, so maybe not so much on eBay just because of but we do need big men. You know, I think that might be a challenge this year, but um, and like Bonu, I don't, it was honestly kind of a surprise to me seeing when Tipton released his top five. I didn't really know we had a chance with him, but if we could land him, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and obviously you talked about Willard retainment. Do you think that's going to be like likely with guys like a Caden with big freshmen? How do you think Willard is going to be able to retain those guys, or if he will be able to at all?
Yeah, that's a good question. With the Caden, I mean, it could be a one and done. I mean, he looked fantastic in the scrimmage on Sunday. But if he does come back, he won't be cheap, and he'll have a lot of the reason he came to Villanova is because he could start right away. So maybe if other, big SEC schools try to poach him, or schools like Duke, that'll be kind of hard. I mean, he had a Final Four like UConn, UNC, Kentucky, and Duke. So if one of those schools come after him, I mean, I'd like to think he'd stay here. Not too far from his home in DC, but I'm really excited to watch him. But as far as the others go, I mean, it's a good question about how we all keep him. But I mean, I think we can, and with Willard building this culture here, I don't really know. I mean, it'll be hard to keep all these young guys, but hopefully we can.
I feel like this was a big emphasis on the recent hiring cycle, and Caden Lewis is a great example. How confident do you feel Willard can recruit and retain DMV talent like a Caden?
Yeah, I mean, it's big. His whole staff is from the DMV, so with those roots and keeping everyone or just recruiting. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the DMV. There's a bunch of talent. I mean, you think of the guys who've come here through like Sadiq Bey, Josh Hart, um, and yeah, Caden. It's really big to nail DMV recruiting. That's why I was so high on Willard on getting him as a coach. The ability to recruit through the DMV is huge.
Are you worried that we're potentially falling behind, say, other Big East schools? I know UConn just got two or three top commits. St. John's is very active in the portal. Are you worried we're falling behind?
I mean, for the first year, I mean, I think this first year is everyone should kind of, lower their expectations a little bit with the first year with a new coach. I mean, you look Dan. I mean, Dan Hurley just won two national championships, so it's kind of hard to compete with him recruiting wise for the first year. So, and I mean, we're talking about Rick Pitino and Dan Hurley, two of the best coaches in college basketball history. So it's always going to be tough try to compete with those guys. But I think as Willard time goes on here at Nova, recruiting will get better for sure.
Yeah, and along those lines of recruiting getting better, I know we don't know that much about the transfer portal, but do you expect them to get more aggressive in that in like comparison to Neptune, or not?
I mean, yeah, I mean, in 2023, I mean, Neptune had a fantastic recruiting class. I think it was a top five transfer portal class. So, um, but I mean, when we have such a young team this year, I think adding experienced pieces next year would really help building like a more complete team for next year, adding older guys with more experience.
I want to look specifically to the 2025-26 team. I think the VCU scrimmage gave us a bit of insight, but what is your projected starting five when everyone like Askew and Stanford are healthy?
With all those guys healthy, yeah, I'd say probably Askew at the one, probably Lewis at the two. At the three, probably I want to say Stanford, Lindsey. I'd probably lean Stanford a little bit, but I mean Lindsey. I mean I think something this team is gonna lack. I mean I don't want to really say lack, but compared to other teams in passing over years, even when they were bad, was shooting, and Lindsey has shooting. Um, Obviously Lewis and Askew too, but and then at the four, I'd probably lean Hodge. I mean, he looked pretty good on Sunday, and then Brennan at the five. So there's probably your starting five. But again, they can probably run 10, 11 guys deep. So you can really mix and match a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. Obviously, Devin, it seems like he's gonna come back sooner than originally thought, which is obviously good news. Do you think that Devin and Zion, like how big of a piece do you think they're gonna play if they return, or when they return into the starting lineup?
I mean, yeah, I think Askew's huge. Just because I mean he's been in college for like 7 years, and something on this team that I kind of lack his experience, and he's that guy. And especially with such a young team, um, having a veteran ball handler with Askew. I mean, we're going in the road environments like Wisconsin. Uh, who else? I mean BYU, so a couple others. I'm just well, Michigan. So
Yeah.
I think having an experienced ball handler in those tough road environments is pretty big. And for Stanford, I mean, yeah, he's a pretty dynamic scorer. So I think having those guys is pretty big.
Who's a player that you think could fly under the radar this season for this team and surprise a lot of people? We're both big fans of Matt Hodge, but are there any other names you're seeing?
Yeah, Matt Hyde for sure, and maybe even Malachi Palmer, the transfer from Maryland. I know Willard's high on him. I know John Rothstein said he's the guy to watch out for when he came to their practice. So yeah, Palmer and Hodge. I mean Hodge, I think he was kind of bummed out about missing last year, but sitting a year and developing under, I mean Eric Dixon. I mean there's not a better guy to watch and grow and develop under. So yeah, Hodge and Palmer are two guys I'd watch out for.
And to close, we have to ask if you had to project, I know there's tournaments that can affect the number of games, but if you had to project Villanova's record and potential tournament or crown implications, where would we sit?
I mean, yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, we don't really know. I mean, we really have no idea how this team's gonna mesh together. But I'd I'd probably stay around 20 21 wins. I mean, the non-conference is tricky, but there's definitely a lot of winnable games in there. So I'm thinking about 10 11 non-conference wins, and then hopefully nine or 9 or 10 conference wins. I think that'll put us. I think we're going to be a bubble team, so getting a couple wins against maybe like Wisconsin, Pitt, or getting some big non-conference wins can add to the resume, and hopefully make a run in the Big East tournament and get ourselves in the tournament for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah. One thing I do want to touch on, what are your just general discourse and thoughts on Willard's, the Willard hire, and how you thought that process went with hiring him? Obviously, there was other coaches with Patino Jr., other guys that some people wanted. How'd you feel about Willard?
Yeah, I actually loved Willard. I know some people didn't, and how he departed Maryland was kind of it was definitely entertaining as a Nova fan watching all those Maryland fans melt down. But yeah, I mean watching Willard's team last year in the tournament, I mean his team was really good. So I've always been a Willard fan actually. So that's kind of weird to say with his time at Seton Hall in Maryland, but I love the hire. I liked him over Patino. I mean, Patino looks like he's in for a little bit of a rebuilding year at Xavier. But I mean, other candidates were like Nick Cronin. I know some people had
Ryan Odom,
some thoughts.
GCU.
Yeah.
Ryan Odom, yeah, Odom's gonna be decent, I think. But I think I like Willard just because the DMV ties and just his ability to coach in the Big East.
We're loving the optimism. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate the time and insight, and we're looking forward to seeing all your coverage of Villanova basketball this season.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.